Hey there, YouTube. Another Taurus High Point production coming at you. My name's Ray Shepard. Got a good one today. Well, I should call it a revisit. For percussion cats. You can also use that stuff in large primers and small primers while there's this apparent shortage going on. I too have problems finding gunpowder and stuff like that, so I just switched to Pyrex and left it alone. Since the switch, I haven't noticed any real major differences. But if you're measuring black powder by weight, don't do that with Pyrex. If you're doing that with Pyrex is going to be almost a double load. So, if you're doing Pyrex, it's volume only. Now, back to... Yes, the nasty little rumors, I've heard all about that. You can't mix it in big batches. If you sneeze on it the wrong way, it'll explode. I've had people tell me they've tried to mix it up in these things. Oops. And yes, I got a little small one of those. And I'll tell you right now, for the sake of this video and the trueness behind Primal, I'm not using that. What am I using? Instructions. There's also a disclaimer on the back. They tell me you can't mix this stuff up far in advance, store it, and come back to use it. As long as it hasn't been hit with your alcohol and your hairspray, which is what's in this bottle. Mix that up in a previous video. You can. If you sneeze on it, if you drop, you're gonna be fine. You just don't want to hold this thing in a container and beat it around on everything. So, 1 packet large. That's my mixing container. He gonna do the whole batch and blow himself up. That orange is all primal. All these chemicals are... I spent a little time kneading this one out this morning to make it finer. But all these straight from the Primal package. Where I'm growing tired of is stopping mixing. So I believe that was my ground glass. There's my charcoal. Yep. How's he gonna do this and get away with? Of course, they put the disclaimer in there so that if you do what I'm doing and they find out about it by watching your YouTube videos, like they'll probably be watching mine. Oh yeah, that's good. That they can stand back and claim, well, we got the disclaimer, we got, all the instructions there. He didn't follow our instructions. That I'm willing to believe is a potassium perchlorate. Oh, I don't believe I showed you charcoal in that last mix, but it's in there. And charcoal, the glass, I just dumped another one right on top of it. That's my sulfur. Oh yeah, I'm gonna blow myself up. There's ways of doing this and ways of not doing it that you can get away with. My plastic now. No, ain't nothing in my mortar. It's all still in here. Yes, once this is mixed, it becomes such non-friendly. But it's non-friendly in such a way that you can't take it out and play basketball with it. No, he ain't really doing that in that big old batch. It's not going to eat through the plastic. It's not going to prematurely detonate. I don't know why people think that about this Primol. It's good stuff, yes. It is pressure sensitive. That's why we don't use mortar and pestle. Because the stone and the grinding, well, talk to Three Fingered Pete about that. But, tell you what. I'll even jump out this that there, and I won't Sammy Sosa it mixing it, but I'm not trying to mash it or pound it together, no. You see how I'm handling this stuff. And gingerly, but carefully. You don't want to sit here right now at this point with all this stuff being mixed up and beat it with a hammer. Have somebody strike it with a baseball bat. Have the cat jump up on the table and knock it off the tape. You don't want any of that. If I got up and walked away from the table, I would take that with me. It would go with me. And why did I say anything about the cat jumping up on the table and knocking anything off? Here he is, Tiger. One of my buddies, he gets up on the table and he likes to play and everything down. I shoo him down. You don't need to be up here. So the primers I'm putting this in, we got a cordial mix of Monster drink cans, Monster Energy drink cans, maybe a couple of Dr. Pepper in there, and 4 or 5 copper. I punch these out in the head and I keep them stored in a bag. And then the night before I'll get up and I'll put them in a tray and poke a skewer in them, like so, and make sure that they're seated in that tray, because now I'm going to be ready to mix all this stuff up with my hairspray and alcohol. That's what's in there. 97% alcohol, 4 ounces and 1 ounce of hairspray. And keep everything over a plate here so I don't make a mess. And I'll be mixing the wet in here. And this will be my applicator. Draw it up in the syringe while it's still wet. And use it down into the but like with everything this crazy man does, I am gonna clean up my road a little bit here. Bloop. There went Max. You hear him crying. I booted him out of my chair. He's not being tortured. I need my chair, cat. You gotta run that way. I gotta run this way. Woo! We're back into everything going on here. I'll try to keep y'all on what I'm doing. For added safety, I could have for years I've heard about this stuff and kind of backed away from it because, well, it was volatile. Why, if I were to sneeze right now and that Primal was mixed up in that container right here, that container would blow up. Achoo! Oh, sorry. No, as it sits, this is a container I would not take out and go play basketball with. Enough for too much. On the wet side, I'd rather mix up a little more than mix up too much and have it dry on me, or not have enough primers. Oh my God, he poured in his alcohol and hairspray. Oh, it's the end of the world. Oh, it's white now, it's safe. Yeah, a little wetter than what I wanted. But you see, this is totally safe. It hasn't blown up on my face or in my hand. There we go. That's a little better. Better consistency, I like with that. Yeah. Yeah, man. Now would I take this out and smack it with a hammer? Wet? Yeah. Dry? No. That stuff, no. Nope, 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 nope. Oops, dang it. Didn't want that to happen. I'm letting about a drop fall out. No method is perfect on this. I've seen hundreds of guys, each with their own styles. And that's what I'm trying to do, figure out the best way that it works best for me. This is a ride that goes on and keeps going. As many times as you'll do this, you'll always come back to experiment with it. Hey, but 8 full. As you can see, I've missed here and there with it, but for the primary, I'm going in. I don't know if my sister and them pulled up in the yard. I heard the dog go off. Ooh. Right now I'm going to say the way I'm doing it. Every once in a while you'll see a cap that didn't look like it had enough in it, so you'll drop another drop in there. I kept that glue shingling on me. There it is. Ooh. And it was a little bit of an overmix, but I got a glass bottle I can put the excess in, and it'll stay wet that way. But with all of this going on, somebody's got to clean this up. Benatore's High Point Production, I choose, therefore I am responsible. Just remember, when working with this Primol, it's not as volatile or as mistaken as people might think. I choose, therefore I am responsible.